Hello, I'm Valerie Mac. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be. I hope you're well. This is my spiritual channel, Valerie Mac, Scottish, spiritual, and very funny, allegedly. If you've been following me a while, thank you very much, and I hope you continue to follow in 2026. I do. Listen to her being dramatic, I know. And if you're a new listener, thank you very much. And may I ask you to revert back and listen to my previous podcasts. And likewise, I hope you continue to follow and listen in 2026. It's only a matter of days away. I know, a matter of days. We're in 2026. Now, as I said previously, and if you've been following me a while, you already know, this is a spiritual channel. It incorporates ways of life, giving you tools, a survival kit for your mind. When the challenges come along, you use the tools like an anchor to keep you focused. Don't keep drowning under emotional negativity, because there are always two options in life. You can follow the path into negativity, or you can fight tooth and nail with a stubborn streak within yourself to keep moving forward, believing there's a reason you're here, there's a power much greater than yourself. You're not doing this on your own. There is a creator above. There is in my opinion. And, if you feel as if you're struggling in different situations over the Christmas period, you don't have to feel you're doing it on your own. There is, as I said, there's a power much greater than yourself. It's where you put your belief and where you put your trust. You and I, or anyone on planet Earth, if you think of how simple this is, you and I both, we've only got two choices. We either trust or we doubt. We believe in the goodness or we live in fear. That's only, your mind is flipping from either option all throughout the day. You either tell yourself, no, I'm going to believe the fear and I'm going to live worrying myself half to death, or I'm going to believe there's a power much greater than I that's carrying me through, that can see the best outcome for me, and you can trust there. Those are the two choices we have on a daily basis. You can just say, well, no, and live in fear, as I said, live in stress, live in anxiety, or you can say, no, from the second forward, I'm going to look through different eyes. I'm going to retrain my mind with everything I have in my being, because it is worth it. In the end, it is worth it. Whatever age you are now, it's taken you all those years to get your mind in whatever state it is in today, whether it's in a good place or otherwise. It is not impossible, no matter what age you are, to change your thoughts and focus, as I said, on believing whatever there is, and whatever you want, whatever label you want to give it. You either doubt, or you live in fear, or you believe and you've got trust in something out with yourself. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's the only choice I have. I either live in fear or I trust there's something greater than myself. That's it. So you've got to do, you would choose in life. We're never ever forced. There's no opinion ever forced on us. This is why you call it freedom of choice. Freedom of choice. Must get very frustrating for a creator or a power out with yourself if they watch and they know what's best for us, but we keep choosing the fear, the anxiety, the stress. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, as I said, it won't get forced on you. Freedom of choice. At the end of the day, it's down to you to choose. Will I continue being anxious, being stressed, being worried, always expecting the worst, looking for the worst, picking on everything, finding fault in everything? Is that 2026 the same as 2025, 24 and 23? Or are you starting this minute, this day, to think, right, 2026 is coming, and the only person that can change my mind and my lifestyle and my way of thinking is you and nobody else. We can just suggest, we can say. So either at this time next year, at the close of 2026, are you still going to be living in anxious, stressed, worried, negative land because you couldn't be bothered making the effort to change? Or are you going to be determined? Many people go, now I'm determined, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to the gym, I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to start doing that. My suggestion would be to put your mind at the top. You imagine if your health and everything else is wonderful, your mind is the key to your entire life. You're either living in fear or you're going to believe. So if you're looking at your weight, your conscious, your lifestyle, I would suggest focus on your mind, because until you get your mind sorted, you will be living in the past. You'll keep going back into the past. You'll keep going back into negativity. You're looking at everyone else's faults. Turn the mirror around, look in it. This type of thing. I would suggest, like many of us, even people on a spiritual path, have to do this on a daily, hour-by-hour basis. As I said previously, I meet people, and even on this path, you're meeting people who are challenging. They can be very challenging. And you have to consciously work on keeping yourself on this path. It's not easy. I keep saying that. So don't think this is like a walk in the park. No, you have to make the effort. Anything in life that needs an effort is worthwhile. Now, I just wanted to tell you that. I've got a couple of funnies. Don't you worry. This is my last Christmas message before it'll be after Christmas before you hear my dulcet tones again. So I'm going to give you a couple of little funny things. Are you ready? Sit down. I don't know if you need a pen today. Anyway, I know I said you want a pen. Can you have a pen? The last few days I didn't give you the website. Anyway, such is life. There's a woman and she's sitting in the house. She decides for her 2 young sons and her husband, she's going to have a lovely candlelit dinner because it's approaching the Christmas season. So her husband walks in and she's got it all candlelit, and her 2 young boys are dressed in suits, and she has made the ambience perfect for a Christmas setting. Her husband obviously has to ruin it with a joke, So her husband comes in, sees the candlelit aroma, the whole thing, the candlelit setting, 2 sons in the suits and the wife. And he said jokingly, "What happened?" Trust him. "What happened? Did we not pay the electricity bill?" Thinking he's hilarious, right? So I think he was the only one that laughed, but never mind. Anyway, move forward a couple of days. And then the entire family are at a Christmas candlelit procession. Oh, no, exactly. They're at a Christmas candlelit procession. And one of the little boys, who had been present at his father's homecoming for his dinner on the candlelit day, looked round, saw the candles all over the cathedral, shouted to his father at the top of his voice, "What happened? Did they not pay their electricity bill either?" Serves you right, mister. If that happened to you, it serves you right. Now, my point being, karma, we reap what we sow. He threw that in. I know it's a joke, but I'm just telling you. He threw that in, thinking he was hilarious. Did we not pay the bill? Now, 2 days later, little boy absorbed that into his mind. Candlelit procession, place packed to the gunnels. Did they not pay their bill either? It's quite funny. Anyway, my last one, prior to Christmas. There was a lady and she was sitting in her house, and her husband had given her some kind of beauty products for Christmas. So one was a face mask, and she was putting the face mask on her face when her little boy came in. And he said, "Oh, what are you doing?" And she said, the mother said, "Dad gave me a lovely beauty set for my Christmas, and this includes this face mask, and I'm putting the face mask on my face." The little boy said, "Why, Mummy? Why are you putting that on your face?" And she said, "Because it will make me beautiful." Anyway, the little boy sat waiting for it to work on her face. Oh, no, exactly. Waiting for it to work on her face. And then she washed it off, rinsed her face, got the towel, dried her face, and looked at the little boy who had been watching intently. And he said, "Oh, no, Mum, it didn't work." Isn't life cruel at times, isn't it? Isn't that just like something that would happen? Now, that's me. I just wanted to give a couple of little funny little stories. Now, as I said, this is my last podcast, probably until around about the 27th, 28th, 29th maybe of December, just prior to New Year. Now, I really hope you take on board what I'm saying. I've been doing this for 3 years now. And the only way I can put it is, if you could see physically the damage that you are doing to your world and those around you, and in your ambience, in your circle, or even just with yourself, if you could physically see with your eyes the damage you're doing when you're living in stress, anxiety, fear and panic, you can't, obviously it's an energy-filled world, so you don't have the capability of seeing it physically. And what we don't see physically, I'm generalising, some people find difficult to believe. Now, I think I've said this in a previous podcast. If I was to hand you flowers, you could see the flowers, you'd say, oh yes, they are. But if you're unable to see the flowers, and I'm just telling you to believe that they're there, you would struggle. Because human nature is, if I can see it, it's true, and if I can't see it, it's not true. Not everyone. I'm generalising. This is a great challenge for many people I've spoken to over the years, and they admit it in spirituality, from whatever age, middle age upwards, whatever. They find it a challenge. Now, of course, do you think it's easy for anyone else? You have got to, this is where the challenge comes in. You've got to believe the unseen, not just what you can see with your eyes. It's very easy to believe what you can see with your eyes. But the challenge comes, where are you going to put your faith and your trust in your own life, or even just in your own world, in your own mind? Are you just going to throw it all away because you physically cannot see it with your eyes, but you're going to accept what you can see? The danger there is, if you're living in anxiety, stress, negativity, and that's the world that you're in, you're immersed in that world continually, sometimes sadly, without even being aware of it. It's just conditioned. Whatever age you are, that's just the way that's the way your family are, that's the way your parents, that's the way everyone lives, that's the way your friends are. You're immersed in that same world. You feel it would be more difficult or more challenging for you to get out of that kind of world because everyone you're around, your entire group, are all like-minded. They're all in the same world. You've grown up in the same ambience, shall we say. That doesn't mean it's impossible for you to look at life in a new way if it's something that's of interest. Someone said, I was speaking to somebody maybe a few days ago, funnily enough, it was about something else, and they were having a challenge. And I said, how did you manage to change this? And the person said, because I got so sick and tired of the way I was feeling and so sick and tired of the way I was living. Sometimes, sadly, people have to reach a rock bottom emotionally, a real rock bottom. And then they think, right, and they start trying to dig themselves back up into the world. All I'm saying at this time of year is we've got two choices again, as do I. We're heading into 2026. Are you going to live the same as you were in 25, 24? Unless you're ecstatically happy in your mind and everything is your friend, do continue. If you find that a lot of the time your mind is running away, you've got health issues, all of this type of thing that you feel or you believe is caused by being overly anxious, stressing, blood pressure, if it's all connected to your mind, is this not something, a treat and a gift you should give yourself moving into the new year? But it's not something you just say. You're going to have to consciously work at a new you. But is it not worth it? No matter what age you are in your life, even if you're elderly, wherever you are, you don't want to live another hour, another day immersed in all of this stuff. Toxic land. I do anything I can now to avoid anything because I can only stress this to you. I truly believe if you're immersed in that world and you're continually, whether it's defending yourself or you're always talking about the past, you're always reliving the past, it doesn't do your health any good. A part of the fact is boring and repetitive. It's not doing you any good. And as I said, if you could see physically with your eyes the damage it's causing in your relationships or in your world or in your health, you would stop that today. That's all I can say. I can't stress it enough. Now, I'm only labouring the point now because we're going into a new year. Many people make resolutions. I don't call this a resolution. This is a whole way of life. You can't do this for January. Some people say, I'll have a dry January. I'll not drink alcohol for January. This doesn't work. This is a lifetime. A lifetime kind of belief that you've got to have. It's got something that you've got to be determined to take a step onto this path to get your mind and get your health and get you in the best condition you possibly can. Is that not a good gift? Is that not something worthwhile? That's all I can stress. I can only just share. I do this on a daily basis. Again, as I keep saying, I meet people who challenge, I'm in the same world. I'm not living on a cloud. I'm living in the same world. I meet people who, I do find quite challenging. I tend to walk away. I tend to kind of emotionally, I don't mean like the song Walk Away, I would walk away. Emotionally, I value my mind, I value my health, and if I am doing my utmost to keep myself moving forward, the last thing I will allow in my mind or in my life is people that are toxic or negative to keep dragging me back. They can drag themselves back. That's a choice they make. But my freedom of choice is no. I've come this far and I'm determined. I'm going to keep on this path and I'm going to keep myself moving forward. Otherwise, you're living in that horrible, it's not a nice, I've been there in the past. It's not a nice place to be. You don't want to be in that kind of situation where everything's negative, everything's heavy emotionally. I hope you consider for yourself, it doesn't have to be anything to do with me, I'm talking about you, yourself. Take your, maybe make a plan, but it's got to be a full intention. It's got to be in your mind like a complete, full intention that you're going to treat yourself as best as you can. And a simple way of putting this is, you can be your own best friend in your mind or your own worst enemy. If you've had horrible situations in your past, why are you going to keep repeating it and repeating it in your mind? You've been there and you've done it. Move on. Do you not want your mind and do you not want your life to be a bit, clearer moving forward, kind of happier times, looking through different eyes? If you have to remove yourself from emotional situations, do it. But I would say put yourself in your mind first. Don't keep looking backwards. There's no gain in looking backwards. You're not supposed to. As I keep saying, the Creator would have put your eyes at the back of your head if you're supposed to be going in reverse. You're supposed to be going forward. That's why your eyes are at the front of your face. I know. Anyway, that's all I can say. 17 minutes. I want to wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. And I hope you have a peaceful Christmas. I hope you have a healthy Christmas. And I really hope you take some of this on board. Maybe laugh at some of my jokes, some of my stories. I will be back, as I said, probably towards the new year. I'll be here before the 1st. I'll be back maybe 27th, 28th, 29th with a podcast. But I really do hope some of you, if not all of you, make it your intention to make your mind your best friend moving forward. Stop overthinking, stop worrying, because it's not just thoughts in your mind. Those thoughts are going down into your body, mind, body, spirit. If you don't like all that toxic, the thoughts, the anxiety, the stress that's in your head, be very, very careful, because it's going to slowly seep from your mind into your body, into your spirit, and it'll become your belief system about yourself. All the fear and all the things, you'll start to believe that that's who you are. Thank you. And now, as I said, have a Merry Christmas. Make it a peaceful Christmas. Enjoy yourself. Try and laugh. Remember, as I said previously, you're allowed to let your face laugh more than once. You're allowed to make your face laugh as much as it likes over Christmas. I know we're all living in very challenging times. We all, I'm not in the moon, I'm not in the cloud. Choose to make at least the next few days peaceful as I can. Be with people who maybe help lift you spiritually or emotionally. Try not to kind of go down the other way, you know what I mean? Anyway, Merry Christmas. Look after each other. Take care. And I'll speak to you round about the 28th of December. Bye for now.